I'm unemployed.
I'm Pedro. And I'm Frank.
And you're watching Disney Channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the 2021 movie Dune.
This is a channel that we started about 2 or 3 years ago. We've decided to resurrect it in the spirit of little to no life experience and boredom. So, yes, we are reviewing the movie Dune. Dune is an adaptation of the legendary sci-fi novel by Frank Herbert. It is a remake or a retry, if you will, of the 1984 Dune by David Lynch. Except this time it was directed by the French-Canadian director
Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
I went to the dark depths of YouTube for this pronunciation, so I could be wrong, but I believe it is pronounced, don't say anything,
Denis Villeneuve. So for all you watching, it's actually pronounced
Denis Villeneuve.
Or if you're like me and you don't care what he just said, it's
Dennis.
Villeneuve.
That's Dennis.
Dune's a masterpiece.
Made it good, yeah.
According
It's a near
to
masterpiece.
us, so take that as you may.
Didn't like part of it?
I hated it.
You hated
Yeah,
it.
that's not true.
I'm just kidding.
We went to go see Dune in IMAX
We did.
at the biggest IMAX theater in the Southeast because, questionable monetary decisions. You're doing yourself a disservice if you're not watching this movie in IMAX. It was made for
Yeah,
IMAX.
I have seen it in my living room with my surround sound system. We didn't watch it. We didn't have the system in place yet.
Yes, no.
So I've seen it in my living room and I've seen it in IMAX and I loved it both times. But you are doing yourself a disservice if you don't see it in IMAX because IMAX is a game changer for this movie.
Yeah, go for it. Say hi, Todd.
Hi, Todd.
Good.
So now that was a distraction, here's a word from our sponsor. Thank you.
Yeah, the movie was shot beautifully. Like, beginning to end, the movie was absolutely gorgeous to look at.
I will say that the cinematography was probably the selling point for me. We are all film majors, and that's something that we kind of love to pay attention to.
Doesn't make us experts.
No, it does. It makes
I
us
cry
expert,
myself to sleep
and
every night.
We can say whatever we want about any movie because we know everything about the film industry and cinema, being
And also nothing at all.
film majors. Yeah.
That camera is making me nervous.
Okay, well, back to cinematography for a second.
You're just so on the edge right there. That makes me nervous.
It's all right, as long as we don't scream too loud.
Back to cinematography. I will say that I'm going to connect the pacing here a little bit. I think a lot of people were upset that the pacing was a little bit slow, and some people I've heard did fall asleep. Honestly, for me, the cinematography made that so worth it, and it held it together, and it honestly just captured my attention to the point where I didn't even realize how slow the pacing was.
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't even realize because it was just such... It was so visually pleasing. It was shot on location, I believe. Very
it was shot on the planet
Very...
of what is it? Anthrax?
No, Zyrtec. No.
It was shot on the planet Zyrtec.
Yeah. What
The planet Adderall.
So after they left Xanax, they he made it.
So obviously already we recommend you go see this movie, but before you do your research behind this. Don't spoil it for yourself, but do your research behind the characters. Like, look up on Google everything you need to know before you watch Dune.
You need to know what spice is. Will we tell you that? No.
No.
There are plenty of spoiler-free articles out there that will give you the context you need to have going into this movie. Some people have been fine going in with no context and being able to read into what the story is telling, able to decipher it just fine, know what's going on 100%, but some people can't do that. Some people need to have context. Sometimes I need some heavy contacts. I need some heavy contacts.
Heavy contacts?
Sometimes I
Your
need
glasses.
context going in a movie. I read a few articles before I went to see this movie because I wanted to know 100% what was going on. This was definitely a passion project for Denis.
It was great.
I think he's talked about wanting to adapt this for a very, very long time, and you can tell that he's extremely excited to continue the series, which brings us to another point. This is a part 1.
Yeah. So don't go into this expecting a,
Conclusion.
finished... I mean, the movie's finished, but like a finished story. It feels like you're just barely getting started in the movie's ending.
Just scratching the surface.
But then there's a lot that you want to see, and
That you won't be able to see for 2 years.
thank God, Dune 2's already been confirmed, so we know that.
Or at least part 2, because it's still
Yeah.
adapted from the first book.
Yeah,
Hans made the score. It felt like it was native to the planet Zyrtec. No, okay, but seriously, it did feel so. You know how like some people, like a lot of different cultures have their kind of music that are specific to that culture, and this score felt native to the planet Arrakis. and I'm trying to actually make a serious point.
no, yeah, I'm listening.
It
I'm listening.
felt-
Ben's not.
It
It's
felt
a funny idea.
specific to that culture, to that planet. It just felt very native, and that's what really pulled me into it. Just how odd it was and how wonderfully mysterious the score was. It was just like very odd, and I loved it.
Yeah, I like the word that you use, the native. Yeah, it didn't sound like anything that we've heard before, and we know he likes to experiment with a lot of synthesizers. So he has all those analog synthesizers. He just plugs in, create a new sound, and found one that really worked for the desert feel for this entire movie.
The music really, I think it just sticks with you the whole time. It keeps you there.
Yeah.
It's something that grabs you from the beginning. It's kind of hard.
Like a
it's fun.
super clingy X.
Yeah, exactly. But better.
Yeah, but without all the bad parts.
Because you want it to be clingy to you.
Right. And you remember all the good stuff, not the bad.
Yep.
Right, Jared?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Next, acting.
The acting was really good. The cast was really great. You had Poe Dameron. You had Drax.
I do
Aquaman.
remember that.
Aquaman was in it.
You had Professor,
Thanos.
what's his name from Thor?
Thanos. Yeah, they
He
had
was
a lot
the
of.
big,
yeah, that's true.
that money guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
had a lot of crossover there, and
Yeah.
it was really.
MJ from Spider-Man.
They were fun
right.
to watch. Yeah.
And Tommy Chevrolet. Rebecca Ferguson was just at the top.
Oh,
In terms of performing, I think I think Timothy did very well. I think he nailed it as Paul. But I think Rebecca completely stole the show, in my opinion. And her portrayal of Lady Jessica was just
spot on.
I had never seen Tamunki Choo Choo.
Tommy Chevrolet.
Timothy Chevrolet.
That's what I said. I had never seen him in a movie before
It's a
this.
monkey.
I had never
Anyway.
seen a movie that he was in because I hated him because he was skinny, and all the girls were over him, and I was like, I'm not gonna give this dude a benefit of the doubt. And then I watched him, and I was like, he's still skinny, but he's good.
I think he did a great job helping us empathize with Paul's character.
Yeah.
This whole like character who everyone expects all of these things from him. I mean, they think he's some sort of like messiah character, and he just like does not want that, and then he just kind of gets thrown into it
In this-
without. And
Yeah. Going along with that, it dips its toes into developing his character
yeah,
and having him be like, oh, I may want this, but I don't
Yeah,
want
I
it.
think-
I don't want it your way.
I think a lot of people thought that Paul was kind of a stiff character in this movie, and I think I think Paul's character kind of goes along with the movie very well in that they're both just now scratching the surface of what's to come in this series.
I think one of the best parts about Paul's character was that it's clear that he has a lot of power and he has a lot of skill. Definitely, I mean, we see that near the end in certain scenes, combat-wise. But I think one of the best parts about that is throughout the whole movie, it doesn't focus on that. It focuses on him as a person, and that's the secondary aspect of his character.
Right.
So you kind of get to see him grow, I guess, and you still kind of feel like you don't really know anything about it.
Dune was great. I give it a 4
Yep.
out of 5.
Where'd that one go?
I thought it was a great, maybe 4.5. I thought it was a near masterpiece. I loved it. I just don't think it went the full distance to get that 5 out of 5.
I mean, I love the cinematography. The acting was incredible. The score was well. And all of those blended together in a great format. So, I mean, I think for me, I'd put it at probably a 4.2 out of 5.
I really like the movie. The score makes the difference. So, because of that reason, I'm going to rate it 4.9 Podamerons out of 5. Thanks again for watching the Dune 2021.
Thanks for watching the Dune movie review. Next week, we will be talking about how much we hate Brie Larson.